Hey everyone. Hello everyone, Blue Goblin here. Yeah, I pretty much know what you're gonna say. Hey Blue, what are you doing? You're pulling a Deadpoolzilla or you're pulling a Mount Vernon kid. Yes I am actually. Because I'm covering something that they've already covered, but I kind of feel like I need to, uh, discuss my thoughts on this, uh, event from Marvel. Uh, I've seen Deadpoolzilla's thoughts on it. Well, I've heard his thoughts on it, and I've also heard Mount Vernon Kid's thoughts on it. And both of them make very, very valid points about it. Uh, and I agree with pretty much almost everything they say. So, a lot of the things I'm going to state are probably going to be similar to what they've already said. But I've been asked about this by several people I've never heard of, and some of my loyal subscribers have sent me messages saying, "Hey, are you going to get this? Are you going to get this? Are you going to get this? Are you going to review this?" Well, I'm going to answer that, and I'm going to say maybe. Now, both Deadpoolzilla and Mount Vernon Kid have said that we're just we're just reeling off the whole Fear Itself event, which was a miserable failure in my opinion. Now, I did in fact see, this particular picture that you're seeing now. Um and I thought, the picture itself, I like it. It's very artistic and very well detailed. I like it. Um Now, and I'm looking at these names, Jason Aaron, Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker, Jonathan Hickman, Andy Kubert, John Romita Jr., and Capelli. Um But the one name that makes me feel uneasy is Failure Fraction. Matt Fraction. That's the one name on this picture that makes me feel really uneasy. And it's because of him why I'm kind of skeptical about how this is going to be. Because, in my opinion, he is way overrated by Marvel. Way overrated. Now, yeah, a lot of people are saying he does good work for Iron Man, okay, and I'll give him that. But I don't read Iron Man, and I'm not about to start. But the thing is, almost everything he's written that I have read, almost everything, has been absolute shit. It really has. I've shown nothing but hatred for what he's done with the X-Men. And of course, y'all know how I feel about Fear itself, so I won't go into detail about that. But it's the other names on this list of names that really intrigue me, especially Jason Aaron and John Romita Jr. Oh man, just those two names alone would be awesome for me. Of course, I'm a fanboy, so what do I know? But yeah, I got to agree with what Deadpoolzilla said. I think this so-called event is going to be triggered by something Scott does, Cyclops. Because here lately, the past couple of years, he's been such a dick. I mean, he really has. Now, I've been told that the premise of this event is going to be that the Phoenix Force is returning and is looking for a new host. Yeah, like that hasn't happened before. And what I think it was, it was Deadpoolzilla and Mount Vernon Kid, I believe, that they both stated somewhere in their thoughts that Scott is going to try to harness it to resurrect Jean Grey for the quadrillionth time. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, I love Jean. Jean is one of my favorite female comic book characters of all time. But I have to draw the line. I think she should stay dead to add on to her legend in the Marvel Universe. She's one of the characters that I believe should stay gone because it makes her more legendary. I can't really explain that, so just go with me there. Uh, and I kind of, I only sort of agree with the Mount Vernon kid, but at the same time, this is what I think, that this will make the X-Men look more like the villains in this event because of how reckless Scott has been. lately. Um, it's like the Avengers versus the X-Men. Somebody's got to look like the good guys, and somebody's got to look like the bad guys. And unfortunately, I see the X-Men looking more like the bad guys because of how Cyclops has been the past couple of years. He's such a fucking prick. All right, let's cover the basics. Okay. First of all, I totally 100% agree with the Mount Vernon kid. This event should not be 12 issues long. Marvel can do an event in 4 to 5 issues. We've seen that before with Siege. But I gotta be honest, this is the first time I've actually been interested in a Marvel event since Secret Invasion. No other event since Secret Invasion has really made me go, wow, I gotta get that. Now, now I promise I will get the first issue of this series and check it out. And if it's good enough, I'll stick with it. But hear me right here and now. I will not be afraid to drop this series if it starts sucking really royally because of Fraction. And as we all know what Marvel loves to do with these events, okay, it's going to be 12 issues long. It's a safe bet somebody's going to die. And odds are it's going to be somebody we love. I'm praying it's not Spider-Man. Of course, it shouldn't be. Captain America dying, been there, done that. Hawkeye, that would be pointless. Colossus, been there, done that. Wolverine, been there, done that. Uh, I'm really praying that it's somebody that I hate that dies. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now, because I don't care. If somebody's gonna bite it, I want it to be Emma Frost. I want it to be Emma Frost. I've never liked this fucking bitch. Uh, I have never liked her. She should have remained a villain. Putting her in the X-Men was like the equivalent of having Skeletor and He-Man team up. It makes no sense. And she completely wears the pants in the relationship with Scott. Scott is totally her bitch, and I can't fucking stand her. I'm not going to go into detail as to I'm not going to go into any further detail as to why I hate her, but I'm praying that it's her that kicks the bucket. Now, yeah, I agree. I also agree with Zilla and Mount Vernon that it looks like it's primarily going to be Scott's Uncanny X-Men Extinction Team that's going to take on the Avengers. Now, y'all know me. I'm brutally honest. If I like it, then I like it. And if I hate it, you're going to know that I hate it. But I'm actually intrigued with this. I want to know where this could go, especially since you're throwing Wolverine, Storm, and Beast into the mix. Because we all know how Scott and Logan get along. Of course, the most interesting thing about it is Storm. Where is her loyalties gonna be? That's the part I'm most interested in. And of course, I'd love to see how Beast's role is played in this, because we know how he feels about Scott. uh, yeah. Overall, I think this could be a good event, but the things that are going to hurt it is, of course, Matt Fraction, the fact that it's going to be 12 issues long, and I'm calling it. I'm willing to bet Marvel's going to do one or two things in this story that's going to be so completely fucking stupid, it's going to piss a lot of people off, and Marvel just doesn't care. They just want to get your money. But here's the thing, DC is guilty of this too. DC is guilty of doing these big events, but nobody does them more than Marvel. I don't understand why Marvel has to keep doing these big events. It sometimes they can be pointless, like Fear itself, or they can be awesome, like Secret Invasion. The thing is, I stated on Mount Vernon Kids video about this that I would like to personally challenge Marvel to go at least a year, maybe 2 years, without doing an event story. Sometimes they're not needed, they're just more ways to get your money, and some of the times, these big events screw you over. Now, I will admit, I was wrong about Siege. I thought Siege was going to suck the big one, and it turned out to be the death of one of my most hated characters, the Sentry, which I loved that. But this, I don't know. This could be good, but then again, this could be bad. It all depends on who the head writer is. If Jason Aaron or Ed Brubaker or Jonathan Hickman, if one of those three is the head writer, then maybe it'll be good. If Matt Fraction's the head writer, I swear to God I'm gonna puke. Because I can't stand his writing when it comes to X-Men or big event books. Because Fear itself, I was suckered into getting Fear itself. I really was. I wasn't gonna get it. I wasn't gonna look at it because I knew I couldn't trust Fraction. But I kept hearing, oh, this was pretty good, this was pretty good, this was pretty good. So I was like, what the fuck? I'll go ahead and give it a try. And I regret it. I regret buying Fear itself because it was such a miserable failure. Now, for this big event, I don't think it'll be a failure, or at least not as big a failure as Fear itself was. Then again, I'm willing to bet it will not succeed as much as Marvel hopes it will. Then again, I have been wrong before. So what I'll say is I will be getting the first issue, but that's all I'm going to guarantee. I can't guarantee that I'll be getting the whole event. I can't guarantee that I'll love it. Then again, I can't guarantee that I'll absolutely hate it. I'm not going to completely judge until I've read the story. But I think, and I know I'm repeating myself a lot, and I apologize if that annoys you, but yeah, I do agree that it's going to be something the Cyclops does that triggers this whole event. He's probably going to end up doing something so reckless, so self-centered, and so selfish that it's going to trigger this whole thing. And I'm willing to bet it has something to do with the Phoenix Force and him possibly wanting to resurrect Jean yet again. And I'm willing to bet the Avengers are going to be the ones stepping in going, we can't risk the Phoenix Force returning because it is such a dangerous power. It's killed billions of people. We have to destroy it. And Scott's going to think only of himself and say, fuck everybody else. It's about what I want, blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, I do see the X-Men being the quote unquote villains of this story, which is really sad. And here I thought Regenesis would be a great time to jump on board with the X-Men, but some of the X-Men stuff that I have been reading lately, it's not really changed. It's still pretty bad. But yeah, I will admit, I am interested in this. I will be picking the first issue up, and yes, I will be reviewing it. But I can't I can't guarantee that I'll get the whole story, but I'm going to try. I will try because comic books collecting comic books is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. It can get expensive. And if I need to save money, I will not be afraid to drop this shit. But I am interested in it, and I know I've been rambling on way too long, and yeah, there you go. There's my thoughts on Avengers versus the X-Men. I think it could be good if written properly, and I don't see it being as big a failure as Fear itself. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.